Hey, I'm Greg Sabo, and thanks for watching The Courier, my independent feature that I uploaded right here on YouTube, a project I did back in 2006. I'm already hitting 40,000 views, over 10,000 hours of watch time in like 8 days. It's just been fantastic. I shot this for $25,000 back in 2006, and I had to make a decision in the beginning. Do I want to hire a B actor and fork out a bunch of money right off the bat? Or do I wait till I produce, shoot, and film the whole movie and make a decent soundtrack? In the end, I ended up doing the soundtrack. $10,000 to this man right here, Allen Dicenzo of Circa Music, and he was doing me a favor. This guy is good. Check it out. I've attached a whole hour's worth of the making of the soundtrack with Al Dicenzo and his crew doing it live with their instruments. I just had one thing. I liked harmonicas, I like guitars, and of course this is like a redneck James Bond film. And I was going for like a 90s feel. So take a look, see how we did the soundtrack for The Courier.
Okay, so everybody. Do you want to play along? How'd that sound?
Keyboards and guitars.
So this is just dark. Some of the stuff you can play can borderline on creepy, because there's going to be all this interrogation shit. You're going to see the picture as we play. And Tony, do you need us to dim the lighting in there?
Oh, you can. It doesn't matter.
It's pretty low right now.
And maybe we get you
Some crystal.
I was gonna say Cristal. I was gonna say what was the Harvey's Bristol train Bristol Queen here. All right, so I think we're ready to go. Oh, by the way, there's gonna be a click track playing. If we stop anywhere, Tony, just take control and count everybody back into to where we left off or something, or I might just jump in and say something, but we never have to totally punt here. Okay, what else are we in? Okay.
It's another culture, right? It's another culture, work on color or something that's sort of...
It was humming too.
Excellent.
Okay, I'm going to actually have a far of kind of click, 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 click. And what I want to do is have it just be Rhodes and his drums. Or actually just Rhodes and bass for the first 4 or 8 measures. And Tony, you bring everybody else in, okay? Wherever you feel like it's good. And,
fighting.
What else am I thinking of? I think that's about it for now. If I think of anything, I'll just stop everybody, but here we go.
Brute. Brian, I'll have that down by church here. Brute force. Brute. Boodle. Bumper. The cars here. Call.
Okay, that was the first problem. That was Steve gave me.
Trumper.
I gotta do like the best person.
Right. 61. Her interest aspect of sequencing. 大概看了过美好的美丽在寻思了这些的部署的那个嘛对的那位苏西亚的女儿。
point is that, so it's like, kick and stick. And so everybody come in, a little bit poppier.
Yeah.
So only bass and the Rhodes are sustaining. Everybody else is playing like funky parts. Okay. Harvey's Bristol, take 2. But just a little tiny little zipper jack.
What was it? You some fruit, but effective. Why am I alive? A new contract. I thought I was a liability. Not today. I don't like it. You don't have any choice. Go to hell.
All in good time. You and I got something to do.
I'm not convinced.
Oh, you will be. We know that type of persuasion doesn't work with you, Jake. Why do something hard? And something soft will work just as well.
You don't know shit. Right.
There's a package for us to pick up.
What's that?
What you don't know can't hurt you, won't hurt us.
We're late for that now. You want me to do this? You tell me. What's in the package?
Jake. Things you're running from. Both probable. Because of Mother Carter.
See what happens, really?
Thank you. Thank you for protecting me.
I just want you to know this isn't my idea. I always liked you. I'm acting under orders, so you know a man like me needs the orders. Something to believe in. So it's Bishop? That's right. He says you become a liability. Not enough of a team player. And you know too much. Can't let a man like you fall into the wrong hands. Consider it an occupational hazard. Sorry, brother. Jake? Jake?
We got out.
So we're gonna call that one your hiding track, like you play sparse and didn't fill a lot of space. Now, when you get in this pass, make this one more whole notes and and big, long, whiny things during like conversation stuff. So it's like be a tension builder. And then when all hell breaks loose, feel free to go crazy. That was really good tape. Okay. And that can fit in a lot of stuff. But I think if you give me longer notes and a lot more bent, dark, ugly stuff, that's going to serve the scene a little bit better. Because when we kind of go the normal route, to me, it all starts sounding Dukes of Hazzard when we go the wrong direction. What's that way? It's a hazard. But I'm just saying, if we go the wrong direction, it's like almost too happy or something. It's too bright or something. So dark, whiny, dark, crying, and so we're gonna keep that one. That was fine. Here we go on the darker track. Thank you for protecting.
Yeah.
I want you to know this isn't my idea. I always liked you. Acting under orders. You know a man like me needs orders. Something to believe in.
Suspicious?
That's right. Says you become a liability. You're not enough of a team player. You know too much. Can't let a man like you fall into the wrong hands. Consider it an occupational hazard. Sorry.
Do it with hands. I agree.
Be nice to have Stab there if there was something out, that he could place on top of what you did with that Takei. You know how that guitar's ringing out.
Yeah.
I just wonder if there's a little more flourish that would be appropriate during. Oh, just in that fade out with the rain. No, then I know we don't have a sound.
Give me a closing lick here in this fade up. Okay. When I get that. Support chord, I'm reading it with the tonic, but here we go. And this time, like you bumped across the major third, try one more. Just here we go.
3.
You can let the chord clear and then let the yeah. Wicked, one more like that. Let him close that cell phone. One more. He fell. Sure. One more.
I totally will.
Fantastic.
Hey, can we hang on? If you're game for it, it's just even darker and weirder with up harmonics. And I don't know, CP's seen Once Upon a Time in the West or those spaghetti westerns, those Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns. And I know in particular that one with Charles Bronson, it was just a much more unusual way to play.
Last minute change of.
Just as an option if
He's the one, the man.
So here's a weird thing. You ready? And we may have everything you need. You know, again, diatonic harmonicas have 14 notes on it. You know, and
I don't know if they were even using that when they were playing those.
they might have been using chromatic. But so what we're gonna go for here, Phil, is I'm just gonna let this dialogue play, and about that same tempo you were playing. Just kind of remember, don't worry about it. You don't want to click or anything. But give me things that punctuate when you hear them say certain things that, even noises, even dark, strange effects that you get out of the harmonica, and then some long, weird notes, and just some real ugly stuff. It's like that good and bad and the ugly.
Or
stuff.
spaghetti western Italian, Clint Eastwood thing, as opposed to and that's not Dukes of Hazzard, but this feels more Americanized to me, more rhythm and blues and bluesy. And there was just a different kind of personality to that spaghetti western sound.
It was just weird and
Yeah,
crazy vibrato stuff. And it has a whole lot to do with the player,
Okay.
just all this strange stuff that is possible or not possible. But so I was going to suggest that let me get you in here. Sorry about that. And if you've got how much of a vibrato can you get out of that? Those real funny vibrato notes. I mean, this is corny old stuff. It's not blues so much as it is. It's like that real cheesy harmonica they would play in those Eastwood.
I didn't hear that right.
Yeah, it was those old cheesy things that they would play in those Clint Eastwood films, So yeah, it's just the dumbest sounds you can make. Let's see what happens. And if you're not sure, play too much. I can write stuff out. But we're just going to capture some stuff. But see if you can respond to dialogue. Are you able to peek at the TB? Yeah, totally cool. All right, here we go. Now. Actually, I'm going to get you on Jake as he gets out of that car. This is sort of his voice. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
After Carter, the guy in the black leather coat, says things, you can respond with Jake's point of view. Hey.
Good to see you, brother.
Where's Bishop?
Last minute change of plans. Some wildfire back at HQ. All the big shots were called in. It's a long time no see. How you doing? Still fucking that redhead from Philly?
Quite the small talk, Carter. I'm in a hurry.
Lighten up, Jake. You'll live longer. It's like our intel was correct. Was the package damaged?
A little bruised, but otherwise in good condition.
The competition? You okay? Yeah, you're okay, Jake. You're always okay. Like a rock, right?
I'll get the package.
You do that.
That's where that big thing will go, right? He says, how about the package?
And those are just good stabs to have. If
Yeah.
you need them.
The competition? You okay? Yeah, you're okay, Jake. You're always okay. Like a rock, right?
I'll get the package.
Like that vanilla deal, get it back in and just crack it.
I'll get the package.
Well, you
do that.
things later in other places.
You're always okay. Like a rock, right?
I'll get the package.
You're always okay. Like a rock, right?
I'll get the package.
You do that. You're always okay. Like a rock, right?
I'll get the package.
You're always okay. Like a rock, right?
I'll get the package.
Come on in.
Cool, Phil.
Good job.
Good to see you, brother.
Where's Bishop?
Last minute change of plans, some wildfire back at HQ. All the
Click, 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 click for you, but hang on. And then feel free to preempt it here.
The Courier.
Why don't you wait a few? Wait till the fifth measure or third measure pipe.
It goes right away.
Yeah, but we're coming. Hold something across the front. To go, the car's peeling out across, and then as we start getting cuts, go ahead and drop down in the riff for 4 or 8 measures, and then go crazy the rest of the way. Why?
The Courier.
Hang on a second. I had some pre-roll there. I wasn't recording very long. We go again.
The Courier.
Notice he's driving a right-hand drive car.
Wait, what?
He's driving a right-hand drive car in the parking garage.
Oh yeah, because we flipped that shot. We'll put like some. Yeah, only on that one shot we flipped it because we were gonna put the credits on that side of the frame. Hopefully, no one will notice that. But
Okay. Put me in talk back. Cool. Okay, so let's call that the long notes. And now this time, kind of start the same way, play the riff a couple times, and then go kind of lick happy, And go ahead and duplicate.
Ready now?
Yep.
Same place.
The Courier.
That's fun. You good, Phil?
Jump to me.
Come on in, man.
Nice. Like the second pass a lot.
So cool. So we got long nose, we got you short nose, we got now hey, you know it'd be fun. I do want to hear take that track you just did and duplicate, like pop it somewhere else in the, like earlier. I don't really care anywhere. I think if you go later, it might overlap with his next cue. Yeah. Okay, now let's start again.
Good man at us.
Let's get to that place that we were at there, Tony. We need to get there sooner, about 8 measures sooner, okay? So just everybody can come in a little bit sooner. Yeah. And but we're getting there. That felt good, right where we left off, you know. So here we go from the top.
Yes, Tony, go ahead.
To the girl.
What's up?
You don't think that should start when they cut to the girl?
No, because that's 2 measures ahead. That's 578. That's 2 measures ahead of 580. At this click, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 2 measures after you see her tits that we go into their cut time.
Oh, okay.
Or, well, I won't say the C word.
Hope that offend you guys.
At last, a reference point.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
Here it comes.
Let me give it one more. Sorry. I want to try to match that first note so it makes sense. Okay. Don't get beyond song though. Blue whales.
Bruno and his friends back there. I just forgot that we were using Bruno and that other kid. Not sure, demo of the kids. Oh yeah, okay. Ted Wilson, some kid Joe Lorenzo on the head and he gave up. And I talked to Ken Wilson.
Two now.
He just gave up on the thing.
Now to the wrist.
No, not Ken.
Okay. Hey. Now, what I want to do is so let's do one more take. How you doing? I let all those tracks.
There was some pine stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right idea, and I'm going to see if I send the I go 1, 2, Tony, because you're going to need to know where that all happens. You seem like you jumped, you were on it, or either you were just ahead of us or on it or something. I can't remember. Like that was a really good take. But we're just going to do it one more time. The only thing I would say in here, when we get up into the really rocking out cut time stuff, really up, Tony, if you could give me a level where you're doing like that tribal boom 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 before you go to the boom, you know what I mean?
Alan.
Yeah.
I missed everything he said because of the way things are set up.
Oh, I got you. You didn't have the knob up.
While you're talking, I can't hear you.
Okay, you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna do it again, and you know.
Okay, let me ask you this. We're going A, B, A, C sub 1, I guess. Then we go back to A.
Yeah. So we're gonna go back to A and then back to C, but this time we'll end it. I think that's gonna be the best thing to do. Do a single letter A, and then do C with the ending again. It'll be kind of sudden, but welcome to Shintos.
Do you want to change the tempo?
Yeah, I think we should slow her down slowly a little bit. If you make mistakes before, if you can go back and do punches.
And since you're piecing the film together, I'll just sit here while you guys take it, and then by the time you're done, I'll know what it is, and then I'll just go in and play by myself. Cool. But actually, probably it'll be quicker.
You got it, Nate?
So what are you thinking?
And a walk up to get us back to A out of the C part that first time. But let's not have any other walk ups. Maybe out of the B back to A. Back to A, we'll fill it.
Back at this. Mm-hmm. We gave it all over.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
You know what that was? That walking up, city boy. Take a look at your right hand. It hurts twice as much coming out.
one, son. Does it, Bev? Probably not, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I don't give a shit.
Again, folks, that'd be a walk like faith.
This is my town, my streets, my rivers, my businesses. Nobody to particularly shit in this town unless I know about it. There's respect to be paid. Yeah, respect. Wow. No need to wait for all you You think about that for a few seconds, then you get ready to tell them, Frank, what the fuck you doing in my town?
That's all we know. Say he is awake, yeah.
You wanna fight? Yo. You're hungry? See. Listen to the feeder. Folks feed. He's hungry. Let's feed her.
Walk up. Okay, so now that we've slowed the tempo down, which feels good,
Yeah.
I think that we can. Let me see here. So we got to the letter C. So we'll go back to about here where they're cutting loose. We're in that letter C section.
Look, you know, we still had some of that juggling happening over the hook as you cross dissolved into the cemetery. But I'm open to another idea because
Different piece of music, different tempo. Yeah, it's not going to work exactly the same way, but I think that we can bring in that cloud of fog right in that as he starts to go out, right. Things just starts to fizz out,
and then the cloud of fog breaks and it comes up again.
Yeah, it's just a mix thing.
I'd like to take it
it's
out.
not anything we have to play.
I'd like to take it out through the hook if you could, just to kind of resolve it there, because I like what the irony, how the irony that you're creating in music is nice there. I just don't think it's strong enough visually and also audio-wise with the sound design. Nothing against anyone. It's just that the music I think would be nice to carry it through that moment into the graveyard, because we don't really have. We got the dripping.
Even after they cut him loose.
I just think that needs music. I think the music needs to continue. I don't know. What do you think, Jen?
I don't think. Well, see, maybe we'll just put something else as a placeholder here, but why would this is no longer ironic, it's no longer appropriate once they've cut him loose. That whole thing is over. He survived it, now they're getting the hell out of there. There's no more goobers. The goobers are all dead, the arms dripping, and all that other shit's happened, right? Or no? Or they're about to get killed.
No. Yeah, they've escaped, and then we've just got the dead arm. You've just got the guy's hook laying on the table still. But what we had originally done was there was a radio playing. So the radio was still going on and still commenting on the scene. And it helped fill in that space at the very end of the scene because of the way it resolves visually isn't very strong. And the sound design isn't really there because there's really nothing there. There's an arm laying on a table. And there's...
How much more time are we talking about?
I don't know, it might be another, 15 seconds, Jen?
How long is the fade out to black thing going to last?
Well, I don't know what that gap is. 3 seconds or.
Let me play you the end of this scene here.
Yeah, watch this one time now. Just see. So basically, the guys are running away. We have a bunch of sound design, people yelling, the dog barking, and they're gone. And now it's just some real light Foley. But the music was always playing. You know, that goofy song was always playing. And Jen, I don't think you ever put any blood dripping or anything. We had that music. Yeah, we just had the music filling the space. And there was maybe an industrial, ambience there.
Yeah,
Okay, so the time I figured, from what I was doing, I figured we'd be wrapped up without a pause.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be wrapped up after that, right as they're cutting him loose. So get from there to the end, then see there. Here's the caboose, here's the caboose, a bit of it. Okay, right about here is where I finished. So park there and then try to stretch a time between there and when you got up to.
Yeah, and that could be 15 or.
Well, this works.
See, I'm thinking all this stuff is there. On and carrying. Look, he was playing with the harmonica. Yeah, this could all be their fan and stuff. This could definitely be.
All right.
Silly,
So when this part,
What?
you get into this section, he starts blowing shit up.
Right, exactly. Which could be ironic, but I'm just thinking also that some of these cues might work out even earlier because he's talking about his family and how Bishop betrayed him and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Some of these things could sneak under the dialogue and carry across a little bit and then die down again.
Yeah.
And then when he has the reprise where at the very end he he's reconciled with his family, of course, this would be a nice, sweeter, poignant moment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think this is valuable. This is all valuable. Whether it's right here, I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe, I mean, you can have Rise of the Valkyries going in and blowing shit up too. I mean, you could do something that's and it's awful, but it's not a horrific thing. This is him finally doing something valiant. This is the only brilliant part of the film, maybe.
It could be valuable there too. I'm just thinking that I know you haven't had a chance to hear it yet, but some of what Jen did, just with some of just the sounds, the natural sounds, and heightening those sounds with something else might be also nice. You know what I mean? Without having a big score, having something bigger and lusher over top of it. I still think you should do it.
Yeah, I don't
but-
think this is big and lush, man. I just think it's warm and emotional.
It's very
Yeah. I don't mean lush. I guess it's the wrong word, but go ahead.
Could this piece go from emotional, like really nice, and all of a sudden just kind of get a little bit darker as it goes as it goes along?
Where I stop with where I had written it as far as him opening up the cigarette case.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
On his ear. Then what you can do is you can go into like one of those Beatles double endings where they just suddenly go, hey, hey, it's like suddenly it's this whole different. So you'd like to go.
You get big. Also, what?
What?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think the that's to use at that point. I would use off the marker. I would use something to contrast it, then alright, just let it be sound design. Then maybe after Explorers, you could bring something, so you back something in again. It's a very, very area. Chill with the station. I just think he's actually deciding to making it as a change. It's long. I just think it's long. But each you play it. That's fine.
Yeah, that would if the word here is so it's not the same.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, he should some transitions and as you build. Yeah. Oh no, I agree. Let's do it. In this group and other places too, people who have been new template, think about his game tree thriving, you have all these Courier shots. Yeah. You can use a way of bringing it to different places in the movie. It doesn't have to all be for the end. Because it shouldn't be. It should be the wolf.
Yeah, but it's a form, and he moves from one place to.
Yeah. It's